It is time. I'm joking. It's time for us to discuss politics. The internal turmoil within Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has escalated to alarming levels. A recent meeting of the party's Board of Trustees, BOT, descended into chaos due to disputes over the National Secretary position. Supporters of two claimants to the position clashed at the party's National Secretariat, leading to a chaotic scene.
Indeed, it was chaotic. This incident is the latest in a series of crises that have plagued the PDP, raising concerns about its internal cohesion and ability to present a united front ahead of upcoming elections. So, to delve deeper into these developments, we are trying to establish with Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan. He's the former National Publicity Secretary of the PDP. But here with us, we have Dr. Oke Idene. I hope I got that right. Yes, Dr. Oke Idawene, who is joining us to have this conversation. My apologies, sir. I see that you chuckled on my pronunciation there. My apologies profusely. So you're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Also joining us is Austin Azu, our correspondent who's been following the story and is live all the way from Asaba, Delta State. Austin, many thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're going to be starting with you, Austin. First of all, Austin, if you give us a roundabout view of the entire situation when it comes to the BOT meeting that witnessed that unrest. Of course, we also had the report from earlier the week about the brawl at the Wadata Plaza. Now, what are we looking at currently? Austin, please.
Yes, of course, the main opposition party, the PDP, has been embroidered with a series of crises after the 2023 general elections. And of course, we have some people who wanted to contest in other states after the 2023 general elections. And vis-a-vis after the election, they didn't win the election, so obviously they felt that they need to return back to their various, previous positions. Now, an attempt to resume office at the Wadada Plaza on Tuesday, was met with security resistance. And not only that, there were issues of confrontation that security agencies have to come in. Now, two days interval, the Governors Forum convened a meeting that was held here in Asaba, and issues regarding to some of the issues I mentioned earlier on were discussed. And one of them is to ensure that unity is returned to the party. And not only that as well, they're equally promising that they will be firm and united to ensure they're able to take over power in 2027. And they equally look at the issues of the economy. And of course, they call on the President Ahmed Tinubu, to review and reduce some of the microeconomic policies that has been initiated. So vis-a-vis that the governors are now saying that they are willing and committed to support the unity of the party, but what they are asking is that so that there will be a more friendly environment for them to operate effectively. And of course, you know quite well that since the issues have started, some other people have not been very firm in terms of this decision making. But this time around, they seem to be united in that particular action to ensure that they are able to promote peace and unity in the party. Of course, don't forget too well that the governors at the moment, they are the one holding the party, because if they are not elected, it means that the party cannot be too effective. So that is what's really played out at the Asaba declaration of the PDP Governors Forum meeting held yesterday, as of Friday.
Many thanks there, Austin, for that. We'll now be informed that we're joined by the former National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan. Mr. Kola, many thanks for doing this with us. We appreciate you for joining us. The meeting's been had, but also there's a recent news that just dropped following the resignation or the exit of Senator Nwoko for Delta. He's now left the party, meaning that there is no representation for the PDP at the assembly for Delta State, and that was one of the founding member of the PDP. The PDP seems to be having a lot of issues at this time, and it begs to ask a bigger question: are they prepared for 2027? Is the PDP strong enough to contend? I'll start with you, Mr.
Dr. Okay?
Dr. Okay, there we go. Forgive me.
Okay, thank you very much. As regards whether the PDP is strong enough to run for election, I believe that the peace process that has been initiated by the governors can lead us to a situation in which we can have, in which we can ably contest in the 2027 election. However, you must not also miss the point that there are discussions within the political class on how to work on the coalitions that will be proper enough to challenge the All Progressives Congress.
All right. Doctor, you have the floor. Senator Nwoko is one of is a key figure for Delta State when it comes to the PDP. A founding member since 1999. He has exited the party, citing, you know, the internal conflicts in the party as reasons for leaving. What is the future like for PDP, especially at the state level for Delta State?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, Senator Nwoko is not a founding member of the PDP. He went to the House of Reps, he later joined the PDP after some years. He's not a member of the PDP. Secondly, he's making the
We seem to have lost Dr. Oke there. We're hoping that we can reestablish with him. There he is.
Seems we have an issue.
Now, coming to Delta North itself, Senator Nwoko won the election under the majority of the PDP. He doesn't have the structure of his own. He rode under the structure of the PDP with support, much support from the then governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Kola. As we speak, I am an Isoko man from South. Even if I go on election in Delta North, I will get it out of head on with Senator Nwoko because he's not an organized party man. He doesn't follow party structures. He doesn't care about people's feelings around him. So this end, Senator Nwoko is not an issue in Delta PDP. PDP is stronger and better in Delta North. You can find out, you can go on the street and make your interviews. I'm telling you that the 9 local government of Delta State, Delta North in Delta State, we are more united than before. Asaba is a God. All the local governments are God. That look, we're going to get a better candidate to run for PDP Delta North Secretariat District. Let me come to say again that you made a comment that we don't have senators anymore in Delta PDP. The 3 senators you have in APC, I make bold to tell you, they will not return in 2027. PDP will win this Secretariat District in a landslide victory because the errors we discovered are being corrected in a haste, and we shall get it better in Delta State. The main agenda of the governor is a case study. Who won the governorship award recently under the Arise and this day awards. So Delta is PDP and PDP is Delta State. We are doing filtration now to see where the other PDP who are practicing political sabotage against the party. We are now having PDP citizens as PDP leaders, PDP members in Delta State. Watch out for Delta State PDP. We shall lead by example. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, let me ask you, right? We have seen the spread of APC's tentacles, and a very clear example was from the last election for Edo State. Dr. Oke here just said that the PDP is still very much strong, even though there are no more senators representing them at the senatorial level for Delta State, and they are now all APC. They're still going to win another election cycle. But from the last 2 states of election cycles for Edo and Ondo, we have seen a shift from PDP to APC. And I'm going to still ask you again, from the grassroots level, is the PDP still holding its strong holds? Do they still have a hold on those strongholds? For example, Cross River State used to be a PDP state. Edo State used to be a PDP state. Delta is a PDP state. But we're seeing this very strong figures who can garner the grassroots support exiting the party.
Well, in terms of spread and in terms of membership, and I mean real membership, not convoluted membership, you could agree with me that there is no party in the political firmament of this country that has the spread and the membership of the Democratic Party. I think what the PDP needs to do is to reconfigure its strategy or its electoral strategy in a manner that the APC can no longer use the brutality of rigging or the use of money to win elections. So I think that's where the issue is. It is not about whether they have majority of membership. And if you look at the example you brought out, you mentioned Edo, where they are in the tribunal, and I don't want to say what the subject is. But notwithstanding, Nigerians saw the situation of what happened on the election day in Edo State. So, in terms of politics, in terms of party system and democracy, it is about free entry and free exit. And we also know that we are already going to midterm of the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I said on the platform yesterday that implosion looms in virtually every of the political parties because people are going to move, cross movement. Some people will leave here for that place, some people will leave that place too. Until we have the 2027 election, you must respect the situation that is currently happening, irrespective of movement of political actors. But having said that, I know that what is required in our party, the People's Democratic Party, is the ability to hold firm. And apart from holding firm, is also the ability to be able to work internally and resolve all issues that are bringing divisions into the party.
Well, Mr. Kola, Dr. Okay, I want to say thank you very much, but I have a question for both of you, but only after I ask this of Austin Azu. Now, Austin, at the forum, was anything said about the status of the National Secretary at all? Austin, I'm hoping you're still there. I had asked if anything was said about the status of the National Secretary and the matter that's in court. I don't know.
Yes, of course, the matter was extensively discussed by the Governors Forum, and what they talked about include one, that they propose to hold convoke a NEC meeting by March 18th, where the issues resolving the crisis at the National Secretariat will be resolved, and as well they're equally proposing that very soon that Congress should be held so that they will be able to settle most of those other disputes within the party from the national level. Don't forget that they have held their various state congresses and even world congresses, so the only one left out now is the National Congress, where these issues regarding the leadership will be put to rest. However, the Governors Forums are very determined to ensure they are able to resolve the crisis going forward so that they will be more stronger ahead of the elections in 2027. And of course, they will be more committed to ensure that they are able to meet the people at the grassroots and appeal to those aggrieved members. Of course, don't forget too that since 2023, some party members are already be aggrieved because perhaps due to the outcome of the elections, or probably before the election, or however after the election. So these are the issues that we extensively looked at the end during the PDP Governors Forums meeting, where at the end of the meeting a seven-point communique was issued that was read by the chairman of the Governors Forum, that's Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed.
Dr. Okay, now with everything that's happening, the matters in court regarding the leadership of the PDP, the infighting, the physical fisticuffs that we saw over the week, one has to wonder what exactly the perception they're putting out to maybe their party faithfuls or even the members or lower members of the party. What perception do you think the PDP is putting out to the people that it's supposed to be leading if this is the state of the House? Dr. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the court's judgments in an appeal court in Enugu is what the Forum of Governors have vowed to make sure it is implemented, because we are a law-abiding party. As Nigerians, the PDP is a law-abiding party. So we are insisting, they insisted that the judgment must be implemented. The judgment that sacked Anyanwu to reinstate, to affirm that Ude Okoye is our national secretary. And that's the brain of the party right now. Like I told you before, it's a filtration process. In the process of the 2023 general elections, a lot of sabotage were discovered. And what they're doing, what they're doing now, and what leaders are doing, the PDP governors are the they are the leaders of the party in their respective state and national right now. So they are taking the lead, and we are supporting them to go ahead that come March 18, by the grace of God, before then or by then, National Secretary issue will put to rest. What we are having now is that Nigeria is in comatose economically, and this is what is spurring us, giving us the impetus and the drive to ensure that the PDP come back stronger and more forceful, diplomatically, democratically, to ensure that Nigeria is taken back to where it's supposed to be. The hunger in the land is a driving force to ensure policies are well taken and driven to take us to greater heights. Also, they also talked about the President Kola Tinubu should give us better policies to ensure the reduce the suffering of the masses. These and these, the PDP remains the most organized party. What you're seeing is a process to bring us back to stream, and we shall get it right.
Okay, then.
Trouble not yourself over what you hear on social media and the news.
Okay, now.
Because all the Judas among us have been figured out to ensure that we have a party that when we come to the post 2027, it will be all over PDP by the grace of God.
Thank you.
Trouble not yourself. We have leaders. This government can do well. And I appeal to all the development and economic development in the state to ensure that we can always preach the PDP to the masses, like as is happening in Delta State.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oke, for that. And finally, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, with the exit of Nwoko, we're saying that he has lost trust in the system, lost trust in the leadership of the party and the internal conflicts. What does this say to the electorate?
Well, Senator Nwoko will have his reasons for leaving the party. But what is important to me is that no one solves the problem by running away from it. Because even the APC that Senator Nwoko is going to, I want to assure him that there's a likelihood that he will meet a bigger challenge, much more than when he left. Because, like I said earlier on, there's an implosion that's waiting to happen in all progressives Congress. For instance, from my own knowledge of the politics of Delta State, already Senator Agege is in the APC, Senator Nwoko is in the APC, the Minister of Aviation is in the APC. So going to join in this melee is a challenge. It will be a challenge for him. So my advice to party members is that what we need to do is to put this house in order. When we put this house in order, we should go out of the house and look within the firmament and see those who are interested in also joining in this the People's Democratic Party in order to rebuild this country economically and particularly security-wise. I think our drive should be about good governance. So I cannot speak for Senator Nwoko, but I also know, like I said earlier on, that the challenge that he's going to meet in the All Progressives Congress might end up being bigger than what he has left in the People's Democratic Party.
All right. I mean, it still hasn't kind of, the question of of the trust that he says he lacks in the leadership and the internal conflict, and the message he passes on to the electorate and the people of Nigeria is one conversation that's going to be had pretty much for another time. But gentlemen, I must say thank you. Thank you, Austin Azu, our correspondent live from Asaba at Delta State, Dr. Oke, who's joining us also from Delta State as well, and also to Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, who's the former National Publicity Secretary for the PDP. And that's all we can take for this session. Gentlemen, thank you.